There's a frame in a Tesla video that most people already watched. You probably saw it. You didn't notice what was in it. If you're someone who's been waiting whether to buy a Rivian, whether Tesla has an answer for a true three-row SUV, what's hiding in that frame might be the only signal you actually need. Tesla published a video last September. Most people watched it for the Cybercab. Nobody noticed what was sitting on the shelf in the background. September 1st, 2025, Tesla drops Master Plan Part 4, a big video. It's polished. Every frame is deliberate. In one shot, you can see a close-up of the Cybercab's clay model being shaped in Tesla's design studio. And if you look past the foreground and onto the workbench in the background, there's a shelf. And on that shelf sit two scale models of vehicles nobody has ever seen before. One looks like a van, one looks like a three-row SUV. They both look like they're built on Cybertruck's bones. Now here's the thing about Tesla's design studio. It's one of the most locked down spaces in the automotive world. Nothing, and I mean nothing, gets on camera in there by accident. Every prop, every surface, every background detail, it's all controlled. And these models were deliberately placed in that shot by people who knew exactly what they were doing. So Tesla put scale models of an unreleased SUV on camera in a video they produced and published to the world. The question isn't whether they meant for you to see it or not. The question is why they wanted you to see it and when they're ready to say it out loud. Now, the Model X is gone and nothing replaced it. Right now, if you need a true large three-row SUV that's electric and you want a Tesla, you can't have one. Tesla just closed that door and didn't open another one. In May of 2026, Tesla officially ended the production of the Model X after 11 years. And then there was silence. Nothing. No successor named, no timeline, and no here's what's next. So let's look at Tesla's lineup right now. Model 3, 2 rows. Model Y, 2 rows. Technically a third, but if you've sat back there as an adult, you know it's not a real answer. I do want to add in that the Model Y L does have a third row, and it is larger than the 7-seat Model Y. However, it's really not a large 3-row SUV like we typically think about here in the United States. The Cybertruck is a pickup, the second row is a bench seat, and the Cybercab is a 2-seat autonomous pod. There's no Tesla you can buy today if you need a true 3-row large family SUV. And this isn't a niche market. The Rivian R1S starts at $70,000, the Cadillac IQ starts at $130,000, the Kia EV9, the BMW iX, the Mercedes EQS SUV, all of them are eating into Tesla's market that it does not have a seat at. If you've been a Tesla owner, maybe you're a Model Y owner right now, maybe the family's grown and gotten bigger, maybe you just need a larger vehicle, you're looking at the R1S wondering, do I jump? Does Tesla have something that's coming? That's a real decision, and Tesla gave you nothing to hold on to when they killed the Model X. So Tesla eliminated their only 3-row vehicle and announced no replacement. That's either a massive strategic mistake or the replacement is already in development and they're not ready to show it off yet. Given what we just saw in the design studio, the second seems a lot more likely. On March 24th, 2026, somebody asked Elon on X if Tesla will ever make a minivan, and he didn't have to answer, but he answered anyways. He said, something way cooler than a minivan is coming. Some people read this as a reference to the Robovan, Tesla's robotaxi, people mover, and that's fair, the Robovan is real, but the Robovan is not a minivan style vehicle, but it's not what you would use to describe something way cooler than a minivan for somebody asking for a family hauler. Way cooler than a minivan is what you say when the answer is a 3-row SUV that looks like it came from a different planet. He didn't have to reply. He could have ignored it and said, hey, it's not in our plans right now. But instead, he told the world something cooler is coming. That's Elon doing what Elon does best, which is confirming things before he's actually ready to confirm them. Here's the real reason the CyberSUV is coming, and it has nothing to do with giving you a great family vehicle. It has everything to do with a factory that's running out of excuses to sit half empty. Tesla's Giga Texas Cybertruck line was built to produce over 125 vehicles per year, but last year they only made around 50,000. That's a production line that's running at less than half capacity, and that gap is costing Tesla a lot of money every single day that goes by without a second vehicle to fill it. Think about what Tesla did with the Model 3 and the Model Y. Same factory in Fremont, same basic platform architecture, two completely different vehicles, two completely different markets, but one production system. The Model Y became Tesla's best-selling vehicle in the world, and it launched on the bones of the Model 3. So that's the playbook. And the Cybertruck line is sitting in Texas waiting for Tesla to run it again. A cyber SUV wouldn't require Tesla to build a new factory. It wouldn't require a new platform from scratch. It would use the same 48-volt electrical system, the same steer-by-wire, the same adaptive air suspension. They'd be extending what's already there, built onto a body that serves a new market the Cybertruck never could. And here's the thing. This isn't just a product Tesla wants to build. It's a product they need to build. The manufacturing economics absolutely demand it. Everyone's been asking, is Tesla passionate enough about a cyber SUV to actually make one? That's the wrong question. The right question is, can Tesla afford not to fill the line? And the answer to that is pretty clear. This vehicle isn't coming because Tesla had a dream. It's coming because they have a math problem. And that actually makes it a lot more certain, not less. Here's what we know and what we don't know, and you deserve to hear it. In Tesla's Q4 2024 shareholder deck, the company stated clearly, no future vehicles will use the stainless steel exoskeleton like the Cybertruck. So if a cyber SUV is coming, it will not look exactly like the Cybertruck. The material is different, which raises a real legitimate question. Does it keep the angular geometric design language? Does it look like a Cybertruck that grew up into an SUV? Or does it borrow the interior and the platform while looking more like a conventional SUV on the outside? And here's my honest read. That might actually be better. The Cybertruck's stainless exterior is so polarizing. If you're watching this video, you probably feel strongly either way. Plenty of people who would buy a 3-row SUV would never buy a Cybertruck. And so a vehicle that captures the Cybertruck's technology and interior DNA, but wraps it in something a family can park at a school pickup without getting stared at, that's a lot wider market. The scale models in the Master Plan 4 video do look angular. Whether those models represent the final design intent or early concepts, we just don't know right now. But we do know that the material is going to be different, and that material will probably influence the actual design of the exterior. We also know that the gap here in the market is real. The capacity problem at Tesla is real on the Cybertruck line. Tesla has never left a market size unaddressed permanently. So we do have some open questions. Any honest take on this has to acknowledge them. But open questions aren't the same as doubt. The evidence points to one direction. The timeline is the only thing that we're waiting on. If you're someone who needs 3 rows and you've been looking for a Rivian or something else, here's an honest answer to whether you should wait. I'm not going to tell you to wait indefinitely for a vehicle that hasn't been announced, but I will tell you this. Every piece of evidence we have says the cyber SUV is real, it's in development, and the manufacturing infrastructure to build it already exists. Tesla has too much riding on that Giga Texas line to leave it running at half capacity, actually less than half capacity forever. So the question is timing, and that part genuinely nobody knows. Tesla doesn't do pre-announcements. They don't give countdowns. One day, the configurator, it just appears. So if you're waiting on the sidelines to buy an R1S or hoping for a cyber SUV to come out, here is what I would do. I would watch the Cybertruck line capacity numbers in Tesla's quarterly reports. If production starts climbing back to that 125,000 unit ceiling, then that means they're filling the line with Cybertrucks. If it stays flat or keeps falling, then they're gonna be making room for something else, and that Cyber SUV will just come even sooner. So that's your signal, not an Elon tweet, not a rumor, the actual production data of the Cyber truck. If you need a vehicle right now today, buy what works for your family. The R1S is genuinely an excellent vehicle. Don't let speculation hold your life up. But if you have any flexibility at all in your timeline, it might be worth knowing that the most important Tesla they haven't announced yet is probably a lot closer than you think it is. Tesla owners have always had to make a bet on the future. That's part of what it means to be in this ecosystem. Right now, the bet is, does Tesla fill that gap they created when they killed the Model X? Everything says yes. The only open variable is when. Scale models in a design studio, a Giga Texas line running at less than half capacity, and a CEO who said something cooler than a minivan is coming, and a lineup with a huge gap in it, with no truly large, family-sized 3-row SUV. Tesla doesn't do things randomly. The Master Plan Part 4 video was deliberate. Every frame in that design studio was carefully crafted. And those scale models shot in the background were there because someone wanted them there. Before Tesla ever announces a product, they confirm them. And they confirmed this one 9 months ago in a video that most people have already watched and forgotten. If you want to stay up to date on everything Tesla and you enjoy deep dives like this, then you've got to subscribe to Peak Tesla. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.